October 2nd, 2023. It's Monday. vlog061 or 2. It's around 3:30. I'm on my way to the grocery store. Just dropped off my laundry. I'm gonna sit here, shaded from the wind. And so these vlogs are documentation, they are meditation, they are exploration, they are time for reflecting, time for befriending yourself. I'm going to try to set up this tripod. Backpack is still carrying on. It's been already with me for like 10 years, or 11 years. So anyway, I've been working on... this tripod's not so good. I've been working on AWS deployment this morning, with Copilot. Adding the environment variables, the secrets, and ran into, so I have to give the user permissions. So it's so unintuitive. Like, I created the secrets there on the command line, then I passed them into the manifest, their file path, and then I deploy it, and then it gets like, it tries like 10 times, fails 10 times, keeps retrying, and then finally I figured out where to find the error message in the console. The error message, because it tries to redeploy, so the task gets deleted right away, so you don't see the error message. You have to check as it's deploying, and then you see the error message. So I tried deploying it, and check back later, and it takes like 40 minutes to deploy, because it keeps failing and it keeps retrying. So finally I figured out that it's a permission issue, that the deployer, the Copilot user, is not authenticated to use the secrets that it just created. So now I changed the user, but still it does. Now I'm using the IM user, Conrad, that has like admin permissions, and it still failed, the same error. So when I get back from the grocery store and eating lunch, what I will try is I have to find a way to set the environment variables. There are multiple ways of doing this. some of them are just like pasting them in the manifest file, but then it's kind of shitty because you don't want to have that file in Git. Well, actually, you do want it in Git, but you don't want the secrets in there. So maybe what I will do is create two files. One that has the secrets and is ignored, is in the Git ignore, and then one that's like the Git-ish, the one that's checked into Git. And then I have to like manually fucking change it. That's terrible. Like rename it. So another way is like figuring out like why this user doesn't have the permissions, even though I just gave them. So finding out like exactly where, like, so it's generated through this, like the CLI, the Copilot command line, and then like you pass in the variables, the values. They are somehow stored in Copilot in some file somewhere. So I have to find out where that is, like how that works, because this is Copilot, and so it's abstracting some of this, and it gets like glossed over on like all the documentation in tutorials, which is like the typical thing with like AWS. Just like a lot of things are just like so terse and like glossed over. Like, oh, all the tutorials are like, yeah, deploy this Docker file in using Copilot in 5 minutes, and then it goes through the simple bare bones tutorial, but then it doesn't show you how to do secrets, environment variables. It doesn't show you how to connect a front end and back end service. And then all the documentation is so sparse and terse. It sucks. So that's why, like, when I'm done with this, I will just create a tutorial on it, because there's a big need for that. But yeah, so I'll do that. That takes time. The tutorials take time. Like, you have to write it out, you have to record it, go through it, probably edit. You have to re-record some things. So it's a pain, but also it's really valuable, and it's also like it's really good. I would just put that on my blog page, so that's like lasting value. That compounds. So the payoff for that is really good, and it's really worth putting in all that time and effort. So I'm thinking to do that, and then put that on the blog for Text Life, and then so that's the progress right now. I'm really focused on getting the deployment on AWS with Copilot working, and that would be fantastic if I got that done. So basically, I have to get the secrets and environmental variables on both the front end and the back end. Making that painful face because there's two Docker files, but I think there's like 3 services in the backend file, Docker file, and this is really kind of like hard to understand because it's like the crawler, the uploader, and the core. It's just, I don't get how you get 3 services in the Docker file. Like, are they separate operating systems? Are they separate containers? Are they one? So this just throws a wrench into my understanding. Like how this goes against my understanding of like what Docker files are about. They're supposed to be one Docker file per like container. So that's a big thing I have to understand, get my head around, figure out. So it's like that painful look on my face. It's like, all right, thank you, ChatGPT, because you're going to help me with this. And you're there. So thanks for being there. So I went to the hackathon and it's yesterday, and so cool, so cool. I built an AI summarization service in like 3 hours, and I created a presentation. I did research on best methods of summarizing using AI, and it's essentially, so that was excellent. So essentially it's prompting LLMs, summarizing, splitting text into chunks, mapping over using MapReduce by LangChain, mapping over the chunks, summarizing them, then reducing them. So reduce is, you're not really reducing, like, you're not making a call for each set. So reduce is kind of, I think, misleading, but it's the wrong name. But so then what you just summarize all the summaries. But I guess like if the summaries all combined are beyond the context of what do another step in there. Okay, so basically that was excellent. And the outcome of that, the output is that I have a logic, I have the knowledge of how to summarize it. Pretty much I want to implement that into text life as another improvement, which is like key, and then have like that Twitter bot integration, and basically have a lot of ideas for text life. So after deployments on AWS, there will be the subscription, the success and cancel page, finish that off, do the improved UI, do a landing page improvements on the styling and the UI, do a demo recording, and that would be a major milestone. Second is the subscription. First is the AWS deployment. Second, subscription. Third is looking at migrating to Prisma Express. Alright, that's 10 minutes. I think I could talk a lot more. I think I've been behind on the Substacks. Just because I want to make progress on text life, and I've been putting off the writing on Substack, and so I'm thinking like also like wouldn't it be great to have like a text life to be like having a writing tool, like that would be really cool. But like you don't want to give all your thinking power to the LLM, because then you're not really expressing yourself. You have to exercise and express yourself and be part. The LLM needs to be an augmentation of your writing, of your thinking, and not just a replacement. So that I think that balance there is really exciting to strike in an application, and I think that would be really cool to build something like that to fill that space, that need. That'd be really exciting. And so today is Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, like heads down working. Thursday is like a co-working meetup for AI founders. Friday there's like an AI event in the morning. Saturday and Sunday is like another AI hackathon. So pretty much very important to get a lot done in the first 3 days of the week. Front loading. Alright, peace.